Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the bins haul. I went to my favorite bins location at $1 per item, and I went in again today with a hard stop at 30 items. I'm still in the process of catching up on all of my listing from when my mom was here and we had that huge 80-piece bins haul. And I've got another guest coming out, spoiler alert, in a week or two, where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have another huge haul. So I just have that finite storage situation, so I'm trying to keep my inventory levels steady and try to stay on top of my listings. So either way, another great day, small but mighty, 30 items. But either way, some really great stuff, some great new Bolo brands, really interesting things to talk about. I cannot wait to walk you through some of these treasures. But before we get started, guys, if you are new here, if this is the first time we're meeting, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia, that's my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But guys, we've got a lot to get through, so why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte here. And yes, it is a little baby matcha latte today. But that is because we are on round 2 and we are truly tempting fate. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So let's start this off with something super fun that I found. Okay, so this is a dress. It's just like a little black kind of natural waist dress. It's short, it's grosgrain. Can you see the texture on that? I absolutely love this fabric. So this felt really, really well made. And then I saw the tag. This is Necessary Objects, which tells me that this is vintage. So Necessary Objects was kind of like I want to say like a pretty aspirational brand back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And this is like perfect condition. It's a size large. It's definitely got it's like just a super flattering dress. Again, this feels like brand new. I'm assuming that this was bought for dance, like a prom or something like that, worn once and then donated, but also kept maybe in the plastic all along. This is just fantastic condition. Necessary Objects, if memory serves me right, they were made in the US. They're pretty high quality. And if you read 17 magazine back in the day or Cosmo Girl or whatever, you're probably pretty familiar with this brand. In fact, if you ever had something made by Necessary Objects, let me know down below. It's one of the vintage brands I love finding. Anytime I've ever found something by them, it sells really, really quick. So this was an exciting find to kick this off. I'll probably see $50 to $70 on this. So, an exciting start. Before we get into the rest of the goods, I'd like to take a minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Vendoo. We've been talking a lot here about death piles and needing to catch up on our listing, and from pretty much day one of my reselling journey, my #1 tool in conquering that beast has been Vendoo. Vendoo helps you list faster, list better, list to more places, and explore new audiences to streamline and turbocharge what could otherwise be an incredibly time-consuming task. Vendoo allows you to list your items faster by entering in the information for your items just one time, and in seconds cross-list them to multiple platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, Whatnot, Depop, eBay, Shopify, Etsy, and more. And then integrated tools like their in-platform background remover help enhance your listings without having to pull in a third party to do that kind of task. Step saved is time saved. Their sales detection feature, probably my personal favorite part of the entire platform, helps clean up your inventory management by detecting sales on your linked platforms and automatically delisting them from any other platforms you have them listed on. To me, this is a total game changer in my day-to-day. So with Vendoo, you can list to more places and explore new audiences on different platforms without having to shoulder the heavy lift of cross-listing on your own. Our lives as resellers are busy enough. So don't leave any money on the table. Sell more with Vendoo. To get started, click the link in the description down below. I promise you will wonder why you didn't do this earlier. Now, back to the haul. Next up, I ran into my friend again, and she hooked me up with a couple pieces that she was going to put back into the bins, so I grabbed them before she did so. And one of those things is this adorable little Intimately Free People camisole top. This is so darling. It's got this pretty lace trim. Let me get you up close on that lace. Can you see the pattern on that? It's really like, it's sturdy, but it looks very delicate. So it's got this pretty square neck, which is very on trend right now. And let me see if I can show you this back. So it's got this kind of like interesting, like that's one half of it. Can you kind of see how that connects there? So it's all about the details with this. I believe this is a size large. The tag is actually really hard to see, but it is in perfect condition. Something like this I'll probably see like 25 to 35 on. I don't find the intimately camisoles all that often. I'll find the dresses from time to time, but and also on the front it's got this little lace detail. It's super cute with some eyelet action on the bottom. This is just like so breezy, very cute. I so appreciate it. Next one, also hooked up from my friend. This is a little surf suit. I sell a lot of these. This is from Axie, A-X-E-S-E-A. This isn't a particularly high-end surf suit, but surf suits in general are like kind of hard to find. This is a size 12 as well. Like you don't find many size 12 surf suits around here. This has built-in cups, which is nice. You know, so you get actually a little bit of support, and they feel pretty rigid. It's not like the little liners that are gonna like fold over and never be able to be unfolded in the suit again. So something like this I'll probably see. So like on a higher end surf suit, I'll probably see somewhere between like $40 to like $70, $80, depending on the brand. This I'll probably see somewhere 20 to 30. So this is the last piece that she hooked me up with, and look at this adorable little bralette from Intimately Free People, another little Intimately piece. This just gives me such 1920s vibes. Like look at the stitching. It's got this kind of decorative obelisk type stitching at the bottom of the bust. It's just really delicate and lovely, adjustable straps, just so vintage inspired. There are so many like keywords I'll use for this: 1920s, Art Deco, flapper, boudoir, etc, etc, etc. Like this just has so many ways to list it. This is a size small and it's in perfect condition. I'll probably see, typically for Free People bralettes, depending on the bralette, I'll see between like 15 and 22. This I might see a little bit more just because of what it is, but it is lovely, and I love that deep red color. Just gorgeous. Thank you again for hooking me up. You did not need to do that, but I appreciate it. Next up here, this is a little shirt from Madewell. I don't pick up everything that I see from Madewell, but these kind of shirts, and I've talked about them before, I do pick up because people really love them. This is called the Central shirt. And it's just a cut that is very flattering and something that like people just know and they love. They have it in multiple colors. I also have a few of these. It's size large, it's white, it's in great condition. Obviously it needs like a bath and a steam, but something like this I'll see like $25 to $35 on all day. These things do sell really quickly for me. So this is definitely the kind of thing that I will pick up from Madewell. Again, I just urge people to be very judicious with them. And I do love Madewell because on Madewell tags, just a little pro tip, if you look, there's a little tag behind the contents tag. So it has a style number on there. And if you put that style number and you just type in like Madewell style, blah, 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 it will bring up the product page for that. So you can really just get all of the product details from there, you know, your contents, like the actual name of the color, all that kind of stuff. And you can also see on that tag when it was made. Like this one was spring, summer 19. But if you're picking up things from Madewell that are like not a known good seller from them, you want to make sure you're trying to pick up from like the last 2 years. I probably wouldn't advise picking up many of the jeans anymore. They've just kind of recently, in the past like couple months, gotten very saturated on resell. They're also showing up in like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. So I would maybe refrain unless it's something that you know is going to be a good seller. But if you try to keep your purchases in like the last 2 or 3 years of production, or to something like this that is just like a known seller, I think you'll be good. But be judicious with those Madewell purchases. Next up, I love finding these. Okay, so this is vintage Victoria's Secret. And I've talked about vintage Victoria's Secret a lot before, and you've probably heard me refer to the term gold labels. This is what I am talking about with a gold label. So typically today you're gonna see either black or pink on the labels. And this is gold label, like it's literally embroidered in gold. That tells you that this is from the 90s, and that is what people are looking for. In particular, in the highest amount of demand, are like the long silk or satin nightgowns. That's really what people are looking for, but any kind of vintage Victoria's Secret will sell. So this is a nightshirt with a little kind of repeating pattern, very classic kind of menswear smoking jacket style. It's got the little embroidered VS there on the pocket, which can't really see from far away, but it is in fabulous condition. Size small, I'll probably see like 35 or so on this. I love finding vintage VS. I love it. And that, like, if I'm gonna be picking up Victoria's Secret these days, it's either gonna be vintage or it's gonna be silk. So that's kind of my parameters now. I know a lot of people out there do really well with pink. They do really well with Victoria's Secret, but for me, I'm only gonna be picking up these kind of more special pieces. Very cool. Next up here, another, like a perfect example of a Madewell I would pick up. And honestly, this is like very borderline because of the size. This is a 2XS. For whatever reason, whenever I pick up, I feel like Madewell extra small sizes sell better than any other brands that I have. And I do see a lot of smalls and extra smalls around here, but this is a 2XS. And it's just like a little pink kind of knit blouson sleeve. It's called like the Dream Soft. It's something to that term, but it's like very, very soft. And as you can see, this is just from holiday of 2022. So it's one of the more recent pieces. There you go. Hopefully you can read that. Perfect example of something I would pick up. I'm probably, because of what this is, it's not one of the more substantial pieces. I'll probably see like 20 to 25 on that, but it should be a pretty quick sell, especially in this color. Next up, you know I love finding me some Eileen Fisher. So this is a little like poncho top. It's long line. It's this pretty like mushroom taupe kind of watercolory looking print. I think it's so beautiful. Like, look at the sleeves. Like, look at how these sleeves kind of balloon out. They'll create more volume. Eileen Fisher just does this kind of minimalist silhouette so well. It's 100% silk. It's a size large. And it's in perfect condition. Like I said, it's long line, it's oversized, it's just super flowy, and it's that like gorgeous buttery silk that she uses. I'm a huge fan. I'll probably see like 40 to 45 on this. These kind of more significant silk pieces do very, very well for me. Maybe a little bit more. I will pick up any Eileen Fisher that I see in a size large and over, and most Eileen Fisher that I see in any other size. Just love her pieces. The quality is like to die for, and that's exactly the kind of stuff I'd love to sell. Next up, now this is a Torrid piece, and I have slowed down on picking up Torrid, but this is brand new with tags, and it's from their Lovesick line, which is, I think, like a kind of like their casual wear, their loungewear. And this is a one-piece little jumper, acid wash black. It is a size 2X. And again, it is brand new with tags. That's really why I picked this up. I probably would not have picked this up if it was not brand new with tags. It is butter soft. It is also hooded. So this is something I'll probably see like $30 to $35 on. Hopefully it'll move pretty quickly. And again, it is so soft. It's that nice like tencel drapey jersey that just feels like a dream, always kind of feels cool. Obviously we love linen and cotton for keeping your body cool, but if you're somebody who runs like exceptionally hot, check out these tencel fabrics. Like, they just, for whatever reason, the actual textile almost always feels cool against your skin, which can be a real relief on a hot day. Next up, I've got this little Lululemon tank top. Now, I think that this is men's. I think that this is men's. I can't really tell. I'm gonna have to do like a Google image search, but it's just a little black tank, and it's got mesh shoulders and then mesh panels on the back. You can kind of see where that is. The cut of this tells me that it's men's. It's probably like a slim fit men's, and I'm gonna say that this is probably a size medium, just eyeballing it. There's no hidden pockets, so there's no size dots. I'm gonna have to go off of measurements. But either way, like, men's Lululemon sells really, really well for me. It sells a lot better for me right now than women's Lululemon. So I'll pick up pretty much any Lululemon, and even if it's something that doesn't move a lot, I'll put it in a pile of things to like take back to the store and get a store credit for. I just recently learned that you can do that. So if you have something that has been sitting in your resale closet for a year or 2 years and nobody's touched it, you can take it into the store. I think it's like $10 for leggings, $5 for shirts or whatever, and you know, if you're sourcing for $5, $6, this is like not even a conversation, but if you're sourcing for $1 and you've been sitting on something for a year or two, it's an easy way to just like kind of flip it and make a little money back for yourself, or, you know, buy yourself something from Lululemon. So thanks to one of you who gave me that hot tip. I just did it with a couple pairs that I had that I just didn't want to sell. They, you know, they were a little bit too worn for me to want to sell, and got myself a couple nice pairs of shorts. I'm all about them. Saved me a ton of money. Next up, okay, so this is kind of in the same vein. This is a pair of Nike leggings. I don't do a lot of Nike, and I see a ton of Nike, but I do pick up interesting Nike, and this is an interesting pair. So this is a pair of leggings. It's got some smudges on it here from, this was like all the way in the bottom of the bins, but it's this kind of nude color, which is unusual. And then if you look on the side here, it's got this kind of like ripstop drawstring pocket. Again, this just had like design details that made me pause, which is why I ended up grabbing it. And then underneath this kind of drawstring pocket is this like floral pattern. It's just very different. And then you've got the interior drawstring is this interesting contrast color, and it says the sun will rise. So, you know, this isn't like a straight collab that they've done with somebody, but I do think that this is one of like their special lines. So stuff like this can have a pretty high resale rate, where like a typical Nike legging is gonna get you maybe like $15. Something like this, if my suspicions are correct, can easily go into like the 40, 50, 60, 70, like to the sky if it's something that's super in demand. Now, that's usually only gonna be something that's like a known collab, and it would say like Nike X, whoever. But even still, I think that this is something really interesting and different, so I'm interested to see what this is. I'll bank on like 2025, but again, I have some more research to do on these. It's just that like gut read that like it's weird and it's well made, or it's like from a brand like a Nike and it's got like really interesting details. I'm gonna roll the dice on it as long as the price is right. Okay, oh, I forgot, this was also from my friend. So this is a little sweatshirt jacket from Saturday Sunday, which is an Anthropology brand. One of my favorite Anthropology brands. It sells really well for me. I don't know how well it does for everybody else, but this is kind of like moto style. This is like a slub heather. It's like lined in. This is kind of like a broadcloth right here. It's got some floral details, and it's super cute, super soft, super like cozy, perfect little fall transitional piece. Something like this I'll probably get like 25 to 30 on. This is a size medium, great condition, and again, just like super butter soft. Oh, I like this rib under the arms. It's like it's a little bit thinner than the rest, so it allows you like that little bit of motion there. I like moto style stuff. It kind of gives me a lot of things to play with in terms of like keywords. So, and while we're on the note of Anthro, this is an older Anthro piece. I want to say that the name of this brand is Postmark. I can never remember what it's called, but this is just a little like ribbed kind of shadow stripe dress. It's ever so slightly high-low. It buttons all the way down. It is a size small, 100% cotton, super, super cute. Something like this, I want to say that this is probably like mid to late 2000s, which is on the cusp of coming back into like a new like micro trend. We used to call this indie sleaze back in the day. It's just, if you can think of like Zooey Deschanel at her absolute peak of popularity back in like 2005 to like 2012, everything she wore was like Anthropology. It was really cutesy, kind of vintage inspired. It's coming back. It's coming back, and it's kind of crazy to see. So something like this, I'll probably see like $20 to $25 on. It is pretty lightweight. It's not a super significant piece, but again, not something I would pick up at a regular thrift store. I would not be paying $9.99 for it. I would never pay that, but $1, absolutely. Next up, another Lululemon piece. This is a long sleeve tee. It's so soft. It's in pretty much brand new condition. Like, you know, like these tags show wear pretty quickly. Like most people just remove them, but they do show wear really quickly. It's a size 10. It's this pretty like seafoam green. It's kind of drop tail, long sleeve. Something like this, I'm gonna guess that this is still probably in store. So I'll probably see like somewhere 30 to 40 on this. Newer Lulu like long sleeve tops that aren't like the tight Swiftly ones do pretty well for me. The sweatshirts and the jackets do the best for me, but stuff like this that isn't like sport specific, like this is something that is not just like, I can wear this to a workout, but this is also like loungewear. Like I can see somebody wearing this around the house as they are like going about their day just as much as I can see somebody wearing this in the gym. So great find, again, a good size, and love finding like a basically brand new Lululemon piece in the bins. Okay, yes, next up. So this is a Bolo brand for sure. And this does have a little bit of a problem, but kind of not a problem. This is Mate the Label, which I absolutely love to find. I'm pretty sure that they're sold at Revolve. Pretty expensive. This is probably like a $200 or $300 dress. This is a wrap dress. It was pretty like mustard, and this is 100% linen. It's got nice like wide long sleeves. It kind of has like a robe-esque fit. But here's the crazy thing. I grabbed this, I'm like, this feels brand new. It had pockets and somebody cut the pockets out. This is like fighting against us, ladies. Like this is what we are fighting for. We are fighting for pockets in all of our garments, and you cut them out. Now, I'm assuming because of the way that this dress fits, it is a wrap dress, I'm assuming that the pockets probably added a little bit more bulk than the original owner wanted. So I will probably just stitch this up and, you know, obviously note it, because it's otherwise a really cute dress, and Mate the Label is a very expensive brand. But what a bummer to find when I got home. It is, again, otherwise in like perfect condition. So an exciting find. I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. Mate the Label is expensive. A lot of their sold comps are in that $60, $70, $80 range, but without the pockets, with like an intentional damage done to it. Now, granted, it's not really going to affect the wearing of it so long as it's stitched up and it kind of lays flat, but I'm not quite sure, maybe 30 or so on this. Heartbreaking, but I'll tell you, this linen is dreamy. It's real nice. Next up, okay, so this was an interesting one. I grabbed this little blazer because it felt really nice. Like the fabric feels really nice. This is something I probably would not have grabbed a couple months ago just because timing, and it's kind of bulkier. This is a wool blend. The brand on this is Schumacher. Now, I couldn't find much about Schumacher. I did find a high-end designer whose last name is Schumacher. I don't know if this is the same person, so I'll have to like go and do the RN lookup and all of that. But this little blazer with this kind of like classic British, almost like hacking style to it. Hacking jackets are like riding jackets, if you've ever heard that term. Usually like J. Crew kind of made them popular back in like mid to late 2010s, but hacking jackets have like the style of something that you would have worn on like a hunt in England back in the day. Think Downton Abbey hunt jackets. So this has kind of some of those little features, the secondary pockets and stuff. Oh, it's got a little spare button, a couple spare buttons here. But something like this is something that will fit very well into the dark academia, light academia aesthetic. Definitely I will use those keywords. It's in like perfect condition. If I have to guess, this is probably a few years old, but again, just doesn't feel like it's been worn much. The fabric's really nice. It's wool. It's got a nice drape to it though. And the interior is finished really nicely. So interested to see what this goes for. I'm gonna guess probably like 30 to 40 on this. Again, I will leverage all those keywords to get the right eyeballs on this. So pretty. Ooh, there's something in the pocket. Is it treasure? It's a Cedar Ball. This is a person after my own heart. Always keep cedar in your wool, any kind of protein-based fabrics, keep cedar near it. If you don't have a cedar closet, which I know not a lot of people have, go on Amazon. I've got some linked down below. There's a million different options. Get some cedar and keep it near your nicer garments. I'm gonna put that right back in the pocket. I'm gonna keep that right with it. Next up, another bathing suit. So this is from a brand called Tan Lines. And again, it's end of summer, and I probably wouldn't have picked this up if it was another brand, but it's just tanga bottom, little triangle top. So the bottom is a medium and the top is a small, which I feel like is a very common combination. And I'm kind of surprised that I found these together. I love this leopard though. That's why I grabbed this more than anything. Tan Lines is an expensive brand, so this will sell, and I'll probably see like $40, $50 for the set. But more than like, I love that darker leopard. Leopard is a neutral. I will die on that hill, but I love, usually you see it and it's a little bit more yellow. It's a much, much lighter. I like this dark leopard. So I think that this will sell in no time. I mean, just like a little skimpy bikini in a leopard print. Hello. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, so this is from Ellie Tahari, which if you're familiar with Tahari, which you would see in like Macy's or whatever, that's kind of the diffusion brand. That's like their department store brand. Ellie Tahari is the designer, and the Ellie Tahari line is much higher end. So think dresses in the $500, $600, $700, $800 range and up. Beautiful fabrication, beautiful details. Look at this dress. Okay, so this is navy blue. This is like a gorgeous cotton. It's got this beautiful lace down the front. I don't know if you can see that detail there. And then look at this collar. Oh, look at this absolute dreamboat of a collar. Oh, could you die? I could die. I want my life to be beaded like this. It's so delicate and unusual and just like, it's just such an unexpected little twist. And then it's about knee length and it's finished with this beautiful lace as well. It feels brand new. It's a size 6. I'll probably see $50, $60 on this. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Like, I cannot get over this beading. Oh my God. Check this out. I'm just noticing this. The collar is actually removable. So when you send this in for dry cleaning, you can take this off so it doesn't get destroyed. Guys, this is the difference. And oh my God, if you look, gently gonna pull that up. This collar is actually done on organza. Can you see my hand back there? It's ever so slightly sheer. What a dream. This is so pretty. What a gorgeous piece. Next up here, you know I love a fresh produce tee. These are super soft, high quality basics. This is a little striped tee. It's a size 2XL, which I love to find in this pretty cheerful, very beachy kind of stripe. Something like this. Very expensive. This was probably like $80, $90 retail. I'll probably see like 25 or so on this. Fresh produce stuff sells well for me. And I understand why. Like, this is the kind of stuff you live in. Here we go. Okay, so this is a pair of Lululemon leggings that I picked up. And in the same vein of what we were talking about before, in the, like, if you have a pair that's like, you don't want to resell it because it's a little bit worse for wear, you can take it into the store and get a store credit for it. So this is one of the ones that I will be doing that with. So these are, I think, the Wonder Unders. They've got kind of like a screened print on the side. They, you know, the funny thing is, old Wonder Unders, like the mid-rise Wonder Unders, do sell well for me. Like I've had a couple pair that I've put up and they've sold in a day for like 40 bucks recently. Like older Lululemon, when you're dealing with a cut that's no longer made anymore, like people seek that kind of stuff out. Like there are people that got into yoga pants when the mid-rise Wonder Unders were the thing, and like that's what they look for. That's what they like. That's their comfort level. So maybe I will list these, but it's just kind of something to talk about. You know, I'll probably put like an exploding deadline on it. If it doesn't sell in a month or two, I'll take it down and take it over to the store. It's wild though. It's wild. It's really wild how people like do seek that stuff out. All right, next up here, we've got this cute top from Anthropology. This is from By Anthropology. I love that line from them. I think it's pretty new, so I think most of the stuff that I'm finding from there is on the newer side. So this is just like a little lace sleeveless top. I love this like kind of ruffle high neck. It gives a little bit of that, like, again, I'll use like cottage on this, romantic, whimsical, light academia, dark academia. This is exactly in those kind of style ranges. So something like this, not a super significant piece, but I'll still probably see like 25 to 35 on this because I think it is newer and because it has so many of those like core styles that it'll fit into. For the most part, I'll pick anything from that By Anthropology line that I see. Oh, this is fully lined as well, so it doesn't feel itchy against the skin, but it does have a good amount of stretch to it. So next up, now this piece has some stains on it, but I'm telling you right now, if you see it in the thrift, you do not leave it behind, especially right now. This is a vintage Salvatore Ferragamo knit shell. And again, I think this is like mostly pit stains. I'll probably do a little stain removal, see what I can get out on it. I think I'll be fine, but this is the little tag that you're looking for. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of one of their little trademark, you know how like Gucci has the horse bit, Salvatore Ferragamo has that little plate. But it's definitely old. I want to say probably 70s. It's in otherwise pretty great condition. think this is a size small. If I can get this cleaned up, this is easily like $50, $60. Vintage Ferragamo is red hot right now. Like if you're looking in that like luxury market, if you're looking for like vintage pieces, Miu Miu and Ferragamo are it. Such a cool find for the bins. I can't wait to get started trying to like remove the stains on that. Next up, okay, so this was an interesting thing that I found. This is from a brand called Rebe by Deborah Vice. I'm not familiar with who they are, but this dress has a lot about it that told me that it's probably a pretty in-demand brand. So first of all, this is like double gauze, so it's this beautiful like soft cotton fabric. It's got a little bit of a weight to it because it is that double layer. This feels very log and look. It's got that interesting polka dot, like kind of an organic polka dot print on it. And it's got these like big kind of bulky, like these kind of like droopy pockets tell me like this is such a signature in a log and look style. It's like midi length. It's a little bit longer than midi length. It's beautifully made. It looks like comparable pieces are for sale in like the $50 to $75 range. But this is something that I'll use. Of course, I'll use log and look. I'll use, you know, art to wear, artsy. This feels like, you know, like one of my like litmus tests is, does it look like that awesome art teacher that you had in elementary school to wear this? And I always, like, I picture my art teacher who was the bomb. I loved her so much. She was so cool, and 100% I could see her strolling into school in this. So great find. Interested to see what I'll end up getting for it. I had never heard of this brand before, but if any of you have ever found somebody by this designer, let me know. I'm interested to hear like how it did for you, how much you paid for it, how fast it sold, etc. Like, let me know. But I was excited to find that. I'm always excited to find pieces like this. Guys, we are getting there. Okay, so this was something that I picked up and it was really like interesting. I'm not quite sure about the brand. The brand on this is Alpha and Omega, which I think might be a boutique brand. But this little shirt is so stinking cute. So it's cropped and it's got like a smocked neckline, smocked waist. It's got a little double tie here. It feels really nice. And then it's got these like voluminous kind of big statement sleeves. The thing that I really liked about it is if you can't really see it until it's like on a body, but this neckline is kind of scalloped. So it goes like up and then it dips down right here, and then it kind of goes up and down. It's really like, it's really interesting. And I think there used to be straps, because when I found this, there were like black straps like pinned to it. They weren't finished or anything. It looked like somebody was like going to make straps and they were pinned into the shirt, but it does look like they cut straps out of it. So I'm interested to see. I'll have to do a little digging and see like if I could find this actual shirt, you know, what it looked like originally, but I just think it's really cute. This is a total style pickup. You know, I love a statement black shirt. You know, it's something for those people like me who really love to wear black. It's a way to have something that's like different and interesting. So cool little piece. Okay, so this is an interesting one. This is from a brand called DB Sport. I had never heard of it before. It has this really like interesting long tag. If you are familiar with it, like let me know down below. This embroidery work on this shirt gives me like Johnny Was vibes. It's like everywhere. It's not like any kind of skimping has happened. It's on the collar, it's on the front, it's on the sleeves. Like, look at these cuffs. You know I'm a sucker for a chunky cuff. Hello. Isn't that fabulous? Like, and it's meant to kind of sit like this, like low over the hand. So I'm really interested to learn a little bit more about this. The tag is like interesting, right? Like the fact that it's huge and it's long, but it is screen printed. I don't necessarily know if that means anything, but let me know if you are familiar with this brand. It was just too special to leave behind. I picked this up just for style alone. I mean, the tag is interesting. It might be a pretty valuable brand, but I don't know. But this kind of embroidery it just stopped me dead in my tracks. I'm not sure if I'll get $20 or if I'll get $100. So I'm kind of like stepping in the middle here. A little bit more research to be done, but guys, if you are familiar with this brand, please let me know what you know. Next up here. Okay, so this is vintage. This is Armani Exchange, and I see a lot of Armani Exchange. I don't pick up a lot of Armani Exchange, but this is 90s vintage. And to me, this just feels like 1995 rom-com leading lady. And I don't know how else to describe that. So that is the old tag for sure. I remember that tag. And it's this beautiful like jacquard dress. I'm almost positive this is 100% silk. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a linen silk blend. two of my favorite words together in one dress. So it's a linen silk blend. It's this beautiful burgundy jacquard. It is, I want to say, about ankle length. It's got, does it have 2 slits at the bottom? Yeah, 2 slits at the bottom that come up to like just above knee. Can't you picture this on like Julie Delpy? You know, like you can just picture this on a leading lady in the mid-90s. It's in beautiful condition. It's got these kind of fabric covered buttons right here. Size 4, again, perfect condition. Side zip. Definitely something I'll photograph on the mannequin because I don't think a hanger will do this justice, but I have no doubt with its age, with its condition, with its fabric content, with its style, I have no doubt this will move in no time, and I'll probably see like $40 or $50 on this. It is gorgeous. Isn't that cool? Sold. Give me a mid-90s moment anytime. We've got 3 more to go here. Oh my God. Okay, so this is a little girl's dress. And I picked it up. I didn't recognize the label, but the quality on this is unbelievable. So this is double gauze, and it's in this pretty like kind of dark khaki mustardy color, but like look at the finishing work on this. Look at the end of the cuffs. It's got this cute little collar. It's a button up in the back. It's long length. It's like literally like the quality on this is out of this world. So the brand on this is Belle Kiara, which I had never heard of before. It's a size 8A. Don't know what that means. We'll find out. But when I did a search for it, it came up that it's sold, that this brand is sold at this store called Masonite. And I'm a big fan of Masonite. I am an aunt that refuses to buy noisy toys for my nieces and nephews because I don't like noisy toys, so I can only imagine what their parents feel when they have to hear it 24/7. So I like to shop at places like Masonite that have a lot of like imagination toys. So they have a lot of like really cool like costume pieces, and they have really cool like puzzles and stuff like that. It's expensive, but that's what aunties do, right? But again, I just refuse to buy noisy toys. I won't do that to my friends and my family. But Masonite sells this brand, and retail on these is like $200 to $300. So expensive, but again, like the quality, this is heirloom quality. Like I could easily see this being passed down generation after generation and still like never being like dated. This is such a classic style. It's really beautiful. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get on the resale market. I saw a couple, like I didn't see anything that looked like this, but a couple things in that like $40, $50 range, but I was blown away. Like I was really blown away by this. And guys, if you are shopping for little kiddos this Christmas and you can afford it, check out Masonite. I'm about it. I'm about that store. Next up, I found this cool little shirt. So the thing that made me stand up and take notice was the label. Like look at that label. It says Fame and Partners, US size 2. So this is like a little crop top. So this is like a crop top. So it's got that kind of cross front, and then in the back, it's like a little bit of a racer back. The hook and eyes aren't holding. Like you need something to like put structure under it. And then it comes together again in the back. So this is a very expensive brand. It does look like the brand is no longer around. I guess they also did like bridesmaids dresses and stuff and kind of like shut down and never notified people. So they had paid, you know, $400 or $500 for a bridesmaid's dress and then never got it. But the quality on this is really nice. The style on this is really nice. This is probably something that'll sit around until like next year and it'll go for like festival season or whatever. But the quality is there, and resale on a lot of Fame and Partners pieces is pretty high. So interested to see what I'll get. I didn't see anything else like specifically like this, but I did see a lot of pieces going in that like $40, $50, $60 range. So an interesting find. You know, I always love like stumbling into a scandal, so I'll be doing a little research on this. But in the interim, I do have this beautiful little top. I love this color. Like I love this color for fall. Definitely something I'll have to photograph on the mannequin. And finally, this is like my last 2 pieces. This, and I can't believe, like I never find sets. I never find pajama sets. So this, I felt this, I'm like, ooh, that's silk. And so it's a silk pair of pajamas from Bowden. Love finding Bowden pieces. Everything I've ever had from Bowden sells in like a minute. It's a size 16 to 18. So something like this from Bowden. So they don't make silk pajamas anymore, so we'll find out, but maybe, I don't know, 40 bucks, maybe 30 to 40 bucks. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but isn't that lovely? Like, I never find sets of pajamas. I'll find a top, I'll find a bottom. Never found a set. I've only found tops or bottoms kind of singularly. This was a cool find. Again, I've never found Bowden pajamas. I've certainly never found Bowden silk pajamas. So very, very exciting find. But that is it, guys. That is my small but mighty haul for this week. I think I found some really cool pieces. Like, I'm very excited about that. The Belle Kiara dress, the girls. I love this Armani Express one. Just some really cool, interesting pieces, some potential new Bolo brands. So let me know if you've ever found any of these below. Let me know what your favorite thing in this haul was, because there were some really unique pieces here. But guys, without further ado, have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting. I hope you find all the treasures, and I will see you in the next one.